Dave Bain. Welcome to the Purple Studio.
Yeah. Hello.
So I was going to say a different colour.
I'm blending in.
Yeah, camouflage.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming through at it was pretty late notice actually. I only messaged you a week ago or something.
That's all good.
So thank you.
Here I am.
And yeah, I mean, I've seen your artwork around and I had to invite you here. So tell me who's Dave Bain?
Well, thanks so much for having me along. It's a total pleasure to be here and to hang out in the amazing studio.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm an illustrator first and foremost. Been in Bristol nearly 20 years and paint murals as well. That's been a bigger part of my creative practice, maybe more in the last 10 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you grow up sort of illustrating and drawing and?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't calling it illustration.
Just like scribbles.
The discovery of illustration was a mad moment where I suddenly, I think it was I did a foundation course down in Falmouth.
Okay.
Really thinking that I was going to go into just fine art, that sort of big
realm
of stuff. I think simply because I knew that I was into art and drawing and painting, and actually hadn't really been introduced to the big world of other creative disciplines out there.
Of course, yeah.
And then one of the tutors on this foundation course just was looking at what I was doing and how I was approaching my work and the way I was thinking, and they said, have you thought about illustration? And showed me some examples, and suddenly loads of things kind of connected in my brain, and I was like, oh yes, book covers and
sure.
Tintin books from my childhood and all sorts of other moments of things kind of all start to fall into place. And
that was like the click moment.
That was definitely a click moment. But I was thinking back as well. Someone asked me recently what was my first mural, and I realised that it was when I was a kid. I'm oldest of seven children.
Seven?
So, yeah.
No way. You got a whole band as a family.
I know, right? We should
start a band.
The Bain brothers or something.
Yeah, for sure.
I shared a room with my brothers, and so three of us in this one bedroom, and to sort of to section it off to kind of give our each area some kind of identity. I painted a mural around my bed.
Okay.
Floor to ceiling of elephants.
No way.
And it was just these big, huge elephants.
Have you got a picture of that or somewhere?
I have been trying to find a picture. I'm fairly sure I've got a photo somewhere.
If I put my hands here, could be like splice a picture in. That's what I'm gonna ask.
That would be a beautiful moment. If there isn't a picture in your hands, then you know I've been unsuccessful.
And what's your favourite mural that you've ever done, or your favourite piece of work that you've ever done?
I mean, all of them have all sorts of special aspects. But if I've got to pick one, it's got to be the biggest one that I've done, which is the one I did for Aardman.
Okay.
Not last year, but the year before, 2023. And it was insane simply because of its size, but also just to have Aardman approach me via Artfest, who helped produce it all, and create a mural in collaboration with Aardman, a brilliant designer there called Lorna, had mocked up a layout of all their kind of classic Aardman characters, Wallace and Gromit, and,
sure,
and the chickens from Chicken Run, they're all in there.
Wicked. Well, hold on, that was part of the mural.
So yeah, and so this huge mural, and they said we'd like you to take this design that Lorna's done and kind of skin it up in your own style, and then paint it.
Wow, what an amazing ask, or
completely nuts,
yeah.
Completely nuts, and we did it over a course of 2 weeks. I brought in some of my wonderful friends who also paint to help me, because if I'd done it on my own, it would have taken half a year probably. But we're all up there on a huge scissor lift in the middle of Bristol, Cabot Circus shopping area. So that was all there. But one of the reasons it's my favourite, other than just the sheer size of it and the fact I've been a huge Aardman, Wallace and Gromit fan since childhood, is now I've got 2 kids of my own who have just discovered all the Wallace and Gromit,
Sure.
the franchise, or not franchise, but all the
The
animations,
realm,
the realm,
yes,
yeah. And so just to take them to see that mural after it was done, and just to see the look on their faces, and them pointing out all the different characters was just such a special moment for me.
So sweet. That's like a big father moment, isn't
It
it?
really was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, that's your daddy.
Yeah, it was nice. So more of that, please.
Good, man. Good. So I imagine, in all artistic journeys, there's mistakes, there's things that happen.
Yeah.
And if you were happy to share, I was wondering if you had any, mistakes that came out for the better, maybe. Anything along the way.
It's a good question, and I think I'm always learning, and one of the reasons I really like mural jobs, bizarrely, I suppose, is that each job often has a unique-ish problem,
Sure,
or something new that will come up. And I think if I had to be, I guess, general about it, but more specific, sometimes I think one of the big lessons I've learned is about slowing down. So generally with projects, I think if you rush anything, sometimes you get beyond it after it, and you look back and you go, oh, it would have been, something's not working quite as well as it could have been.
yeah.
So quite often when I create a piece of artwork, if I'm in the design stage particularly, I'll try and sit with it for a day or two and come back to it and have a look at it with fresh eyes, and I'll quite often spot something to tweak or change.
Sure.
And that's been something that I've kind of learned, I suppose, through years of doing it. And with murals, I think one big lesson I've learned is just to find out as much information about the wall, that you're painting on, the canvas that you're ultimately going to be painting on, because sometimes I'll get sent like an architect drawing that obviously will be the vision, the perfect wall,
scenario,
the scenario, and then they'll send through photos, and at that point I suddenly realise and it could have been missed, that I don't know, someone's put a wall light in the middle of the wall, or the reality is that they had to resize a window or do something different, and so you're there going, okay, that's actually going to really affect the design. It's a really good thing that I paid attention to that rather than find out when I turned up.
Of course. And I guess, because I guess you're the expert in the situation, if something like that happens and it sort of goes wrong, or something isn't up the thing, it's kind of like, like the client or the people sort of, commissioning you to do it might feel like, like, why isn't it not right? And say, well,
they might shift the blame on you, but I think that's what I love, the problem solving aspect of going, okay, I did do this design, and now there's massive light in the middle of it. We'll have to kind of figure out a way to make that work. Almost
a kind of like, what was it, measure twice, cut once sort of
it's
scenario.
That sort of thing.
Okay,
definitely.
Well, that's a realm. It's really interesting for me to learn about this, because I don't know much about the realm of murals, and I'm sure within the mural painting world, there are all these ways of sort of like technique sharing and advice and how to do things.
I'm so blessed to be in a city in Bristol with an incredible community of mural painters, street artists, graph heads, whatever you want to call them. There's a really, really great sharing aspect of it all. Lucky enough to share studios with brilliant artists over the years, and currently as well, who all paint murals. There's Bristol Mural Collective as well in Bristol. There's just so many great people who are really friendly, up for sharing advice, up for supporting each other. If a job comes in and we need some help, then we'll rope in our friends, or if we're not sure about how to approach something, we can do that sharing. It's brilliant. Love it.
I love that about Bristol as well, man. It's really got a community spirit, especially in the arts realm. I feel like people always want to help each other, support each other.
Yeah.
And that's just so lovely, really.
It's amazing. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you if there's any sort of bits of advice throughout your, maybe, a quote or something that's sort of stayed dear to you throughout your career. Maybe just some words like, is there anything that's you've kept in mind throughout your whole sort of like art journey?
Yeah. There's two.
There's two things.
There's two things. One's a really quick. One's one that a tutor said to me as I was kind of leaving uni, sort of lucky enough to be able to study illustration, and as I was graduating, obviously you're just there coming out of this bubble of doing a course and feeling like what's going to happen next, you know.
Sure.
And this brilliant tutor just said it takes time. It takes time. Don't, you know, if in a year's time you're finding things difficult, don't panic. Just keep going. The main thing is just keep pushing at it. And and they said 7 years. You know, give it 7 years. You know, like that's a good length. You know, I think he just plucked a big number out of his head for that bit. But I really held on to that. There were lots of moments, I think, in the early years, and to some extent even now, where I have to remind myself that if you're starting something new, or if you're pushing for a particular something in your creative development or practice, that it's not an overnight thing necessarily. It's taking time is key. Going slow. But another a big quote that I've really held on to, which I'm gonna hope I can remember properly. It's kind of paraphrased, but
no worries.
Creative curiosity is the key to longevity. And I love that. It's something that someone I know said a while back, and I just was like, that really sums things up. That being creatively curious and is always going to help. Just keep you going, keep your head in the game, keep your heart in the game as well. Yeah,
I love that, man. That kind of ties into like, I'm a big advocate of like forever learning. You know, like if you're curious, then you always want to learn.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as you stop wanting to learn, there's sort of like your circle of sort of like knowledge and, you know, sort of like exploring sort of slows down. You know, so. Thanks for sharing, man. I'm going to hold on to some of that.
Yeah, no problems.
I've got a little mystery gift for you.
Okay.
Every guest gets one. So here you go, my man. It's not much, but, you know, appreciate you coming through.
Oh, wow. A little box.
Little box.
What's inside it?
Well.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I really wasn't expecting this.
Oh, really? Oh, well, you know, I didn't know how much you're into cooking.
So nice.
But it's a little Japanese... sort of style and designed.
Yeah, I really love the design of it and the artwork on it too. And is this courtesy of
maybe have a smell?
Oh wow!
You can tell me.
Oh yeah, that is a good spice blend.
That is excited. Grandma's signature spice. So,
wow.
I don't know if you're into making curries and stuff, but like...
We love a curry in our house, so this is exciting. This will be going into the next curry making moment.
One spoon of that, man, in any curry, you'll be flying.
Incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please pass my thanks.
I will.
Grandma.
I will. She knows about you coming through, so you know she's cooked up something for you.
Okay. Exciting.
Try a bit later, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you so much.
And
amazing.
I hear that you have a couple of things to show me from your own universe.
I do, yeah.
Can we see what's going on here?
For sure, yeah. You asked me to bring in a few things that were kind of personal, something special to me. So I brought in two things. And one of them relates to my grandma, and one of them relates more to me and to music as well, because I know you're into
sure, yeah.
Music's a big part of your world. So what would you like first, music or grandma?
Oh, that's the two like big ones. Music
first, okay. So I've got this mouse with me, and it's a white mouse. It's got kind of like a waxy-ish
can I check it out?
Yeah, give it a hold, give it a look. Kind of a little bit evil looking as well.
Kind of evil, but kind of beautiful at the same time, no?
Yeah, and this is a charity shop find, probably definitely over 20 years ago or so. And the reason it connects to music is I've always loved music, and a good friend of mine when I was growing up taught me how to DJ. He was a hip hop DJ. I love hip hop, but I'm more into my electronic music, dance music, and all that sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, he taught me on vinyl, and I just loved records since then. And obviously, records sometimes get referred to as wax.
Sure.
And during uni, I was playing some parties, playing bars, things like that, and the name Wax Mouse I landed with as a DJ, and then I saw this in a charity shop and thought, you know what, that mouse looks pretty waxy to me.
That does look quite waxy. So hold on, are you saying your DJ name was Wax Mouse?
So, yeah.
That's kind of dope, man. I'm into the vibe. Funny. I'm into the Wax Mouse.
I'm glad to hear it. It stuck with me, and it's never been I don't know, it's like a creative output that I really enjoy. This lives by my decks at home, and it's something that it's never monetized it. You know, I'm an illustrator, I'm a mural painter,
sure.
But I love to play records, played a few parties, really enjoy it. And I suppose this little guy has been my personal mascot throughout that time.
Nice, man. I'm glad. Well, I tell you what, man, I didn't realize are you a vinyl DJ?
I can, yeah.
As in
yeah.
you have vibes?
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't know that about you. So I should probably give you an extra
little
gift,
secret part of my life.
Yeah, man. Look, I got one just here.
Oh wow!
You can
okay.
Have a copy of Grant's house.
Oh yes, please. Yeah.
We did this at Real World Studios. Well, actually, we did it at my grandma's.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Spare room. Like we wrote the music there, and then Peter Gabriel sort of like had interest in the project, and he helped us release it. But I didn't know you were into vinyl, so
That would be
that's for you,
a
my
real
man.
treat. Thank you so much.
We can go to my grand's and get it signed as well if you like.
I would love that.
Cool, man.
That's
cool.
incredible.
Thanks for sharing.
So that's one object.
What's the next one?
And the other object, which relates to my grandma, was so we've got like a little china penguin who's playing a tuba.
Oh my God, tuba penguin.
Yeah, tuba penguin, and actually this is one of 6 or 7 bandmates. I think actually 7, which might relate a little bit to my family. But I brought one in today, and the reason, I'll pass it over to you. The reason this is special is my grandma this was my grandma's, and she, throughout her life, had a friend of hers, just a not a relation or anything, who would give her penguin-related objects throughout her whole life. And then she would give her friend frog-related objects. She was finding frogs for her mate, and her mate was finding her penguins.
This is amazing. What is like ultimate friendship achieved?
Penguin frog off, something like that. And she's no longer with us. But one of the things I had that is just such a strong memory of my grandma. And when she passed away, we were able to have a few things to remember her by, and I was like, please can I have the Penguin Orchestra, because they're just brilliant.
That is brilliant. I mean that is just fantastic. For some reason I'm like looking at it and I'm trying to imagine what a penguin would look like with a real tuba, like in real life.
Yeah.
And I just think it's fantastic.
I think this is fairly on point.
Thanks for bringing it, Matt.
You're welcome.
Really lovely. And because sometimes we ask if guests want to bring something for the Purple Studio to sign it and give away to the listeners, and you've brought something really special today.
I brought a print of mine.
Look how dope this is.
I don't know if that's in shot.
This is amazing. You could have this. This is amazing. But we would love for you to sign it, Dave. Would you be up for that?
Absolutely. Well, it's already signed, but what I'm going to do, this is a print called Listen, and it's got 2 characters in it who are listening to a record. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sign, also brought with me some stickers, which I'll throw in with the print.
Wicked.
So we've got like a dancing dog and some other things. Actually, it's got a sticker of the print as well there, which is the exact size of the center label for a record. So just for the nerds out there, the center point all lines up with that. Anyway.
Amazing.
But I'll sign the back of this. I'll put a little thank you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Sign on the little back of this card here.
That's such a nice
Shall I do that now?
Yeah, can we get you you doing it?
I'll dig out. Man. I've brought my, this is something that I always have to have with me, my pencil case.
Is that a pencil case that you've had for a long time?
It certainly is, yeah. Dave Bain written on the bottom.
How long have you had that?
Oh my God, I have no idea. Yeah, since
a kid?
Since teenagedom.
No way, okay.
So yeah, I'm just going to sign thank you, Dave Bain, and a big old kiss.
There we are. Show the camera, man.
There we are. So you get this with the
And
print.
this. Thanks so much, Dave. That's such a treat.
No worries.
When you, I just want to flick back to when you were mentioning your grandma, actually.
Yeah, sure.
Because she's such an important person in my life. Like, sorry, my grandma, not. I wouldn't know your grandma, but
You knew her?
But I don't know. She was like a massive part of my like musical journey, really.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And she's musical, but she's not a really musician. You know, she doesn't really play an instrument, but she's very musical.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if your grandma played a big part in your artistic journey, if there was any connection to that, or.
Yeah, I mean, I've a few sort of stories. I was thinking as I was coming here today about my grandma, obviously stirring up some memories. I've got my granny on my mum's side, and my grandma on my dad's side. Granny and grandma, just to keep them different.
Sure.
Make them feel special. But on my say grandma, I have a really, really special memory of her obviously noticing that I was really into drawing, and this was something like a side hustle, I suppose, that she would do occasional pet portraits for her mates, and so she was showing me some of those, and then saying how she would concentrate on the shading and that there are no edges to reality. Everything is kind of shade, light and shadow.
Oh, I love that.
And it was something, I must have been like 9, 10 years old or something. And I've completely ignored her advice since, no. But it was definitely like a moment. I was like, she really cares. And she really wants to connect with me and show me something from her world and bring it into mine. And that really held on to
awesome. That. Everything's just a different shade of something. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of a bit like witchy, you know?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think that was her intention, but it's just more doggy.
Cool, man. Well, thanks so much for sharing. I reckon I'm gonna ask if you're hungry and up for trying something.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I'm up for it.
we're crowdfunding this cookbook at the moment. So essentially, me and my gran I've been collating my gran's recipes for years, and bless her, she doesn't measure anything. So that's why it's taken me so long. And she's quite old, you know, so like we just go through things and she's like, oh, well, it's kind of that amount. And I'm like, okay, that's gonna be, I need to know how much for a recipe, you know.
You're running in there with the measuring.
Yeah, just like, how much is that, you know?
Yeah.
But we managed to do it. And after we released this album with Real World Records, we were approached by BBC Good Food to ask, they wanted to know what we were eating during the production of the album. And it just made sense to finally finish this book. And we've launched the crowdfunder, and I'd love for you to try one of the recipes from the book.
That'd be amazing.
So
yes, please.
we'll cut here, and I'm going to go and heat up some food for us. Fresh from Grant's house.
Wow.
Here you are, Dave.
Oh, wow.
So it's just a little taster
nice.
of one of the recipes from the book. I believe this is her pork curry. So this is a recipe from her book. This is one of her like classic. It's kind of it's a curry with rice, but I love how my grandma makes it more like a soup. Yeah. So it's like really great for winters, you know. It's like a kind of porky sort of like curried soup. But have a taste, man. Let me know what you think.
Yeah. Oh, it looks so good and it smells amazing.
Damn. For me, this just like flies me back to childhood, you know.
Yeah.
You watched Ratatouille? Have you watched Ratatouille?
Yeah. And now that I've got some kids, I'm like, you've got to watch Ratatouille. And we did show it to them the other day, and our oldest, who's 6, was into it a lot. So yeah, it's a new hit in our home. Man,
there's a part in the you know, right at the end where he serves in Ratatouille. He serves the what's the guy's name? I can't remember.
Oh, I can't either.
He's the food critic, yeah.
Yeah, but it evokes a memory, doesn't it?
Yeah, he like flies back to like being 5, and you're just like, oh man. So for me, this is like quite one of those.
One of those moments. So how many recipes are in your grandma's book?
I think we have coming up to 60 now. and they're all unique to her sort of style of cooking, which is super like home cooked Punjabi food, like nothing complicated, just everything home cooked, you know, nothing fancy. She doesn't do fancy cooking. She just does like good shit.
Yeah, I mean, if it's anything as good, I mean, this is testament. Very, very tasty.
Yeah, it's interesting actually. There's the amount of like ginger and garlic she uses in her food. When I'm eating this food in the winter, especially in this country, it's just like I never get sick.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I feel like
all those spices are
the
getting into
spices,
your
turmeric,
system.
yeah, like just stops me from getting ill. And
Yeah.
as soon as I have a winter, which sometimes happens in a different city, and I haven't got access to like maybe all the spices in the food that I eat, I get sick straight away. It's weird.
Yeah. It feels really comforting. Yeah, and the flavors are incredible.
The spice mix I gave you is the same one that she's used in here.
Right.
So she makes it every 3 months. She does her own batch.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just what me and my family have been using for like generations.
So in the book, does it go into sort of making your own spice blends and
pretty much every recipe?
Yeah.
You can actually buy the book with the spice blend, so it comes with the book.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Ooh.
so it's like
even making life even easier.
Yeah, just so like it comes with the crowdfunder, you know. So it's like every book you can get a bag of her spices. But yeah, maybe it would be cool to tell people how to make it, but that I feel like if I gave away her secret recipe like that, she'd disown me as a grandson. Yeah. She like kind of trusts me with it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, of course. Yeah, got to get the book.
You can actually put eggs in this as well.
What would you do?
Well, my grandma sometimes she'll boil eggs, like hard-boiled eggs, and then you just pop them in 60 seconds at the end, you know, and they become like really nice and curried.
Yeah. Okay.
So, did your grandma like cook any dishes for you that you remember?
Yeah, there was. So I don't have a sort of specific grandma or my granny kind of cooking us a specific dish. I think it was quite often like classic homegrown you know what I mean, like kind of just your sort of standard fare but really nicely made kind of home cooking stuff. But food wise, I do have this like sort of lovely memory when towards the end of my grandma's life, her and her granddad lived out in Spain in a little town called Nerja on the south coast of Spain, and I went out to visit her, just me, when towards the end of her life. Our family were a little bit worried, you know, how she was doing. Was she coping okay out there and all that sort of thing? So they were like, Dave, maybe you should do you want a holiday? Do you want to go and just check in with her for like a week or something, see how she's doing? Is she walking around okay? Is she getting up the stairs to the flat? All this kind of thing. And we went out there, and it was obviously really, it was just me and her for this week, and there's so many special moments throughout that, but one of them was like the first day we got there. We sat outside at this little restaurant that was sort of a favourite place where she'd love to go, because in her words, it was like it did the best paella ever in the whole of Nerja. And we sat out the front of this place, the sun coming down, me and my grandma, this massive paella, absolutely huge. I think she just basically ordered the biggest the biggest they did. And we were just there eating it in the afternoon sun with people passing by and her going, hey, look, this is my grandson.
Oh, she's so proud.
Like introducing us as we're going on. So that's definitely like, special food.
Great, man. That's a memory for you.
Memory for my grandma. My granny was like, I haven't got anything like home cooked as a memory, but when we went to visit her, she would in her front room had this big jar of like boiled sweets and wine gums and stuff. And we, as kids, we'd like our eyes lit up. And we were like, "Oh my God, I've got to have some sweeties." It was like this kind of, can we dip our hand into this jar? My granny would be in the kitchen with my mum, her daughter, catching up and chit-chatting and stuff. And we'd be in the front room, me and my brothers at the time, going, "Can we get these sweets?" And my dad would always run in after us and say, "No, don't." Don't have any of those sweets. They've literally been in there for years.
Really?
Like sort of solidified,
like glued,
congealed together. And he always, bless him, like had a packet of wine gums or something on him
and gives it
that he'd sort us out with in the moment, so that we
get your sugar rush
didn't kick off.
Oh man, that's a really sweet memory, man. Thanks.
Silly memory. Sorry.
No, it's a great memory. Well, thank you for coming through, man.
Oh, it's total pleasure.
It's been totally wonderful.
Amazing food.
Yep.
Love
Thank you. Amazing work. Thank you for gifting this wonderful piece. We'll do a giveaway. And
cool.
if anybody's interested in the food that we've been eating, we're running this crowdfunder, and I'll be coming at the end of the year. It'll be ready for Christmas. So thanks for coming through, man.
You're welcome.
Pleasure.